welcome. Please call VU2 now to be on unit. Mike Sierra Bravo. Hotel number Alpha Mike Tango Sierra Kilo Tango Whiskey Zulu Oscar Alpha Victor Kilo Sierra Uniform Alpha Tango Dana 2 please.
Okay friends, I am Dilip Bapat, Victor Uniform number 3 Uniform Echo Lima, once again with you as Pune's Eco Tango Delta Repeater Morning Net Controller. I am welcoming all the stations who joined via VHF Repeater and Eco Link to Pune Morning Net. And now first of all I am calling any VHF repeater station there on the frequency. Please come in. Okay, nothing heard there on VHF, so let us move towards our equaling stations. But before moving ahead, friends, today we have a special Tech Talk program. As you know, every month, first Sunday, we have a special Tech Talk program. And today we have a special Tech Talk program. Presenter is none other than V.K. Arya sir, Delhi-based old ham radio operator. And he will be sharing information regarding WPC exam and technical knowledge as well as rules and regulation. And we have VU2RCP Mangesh right now with us. Mangesh, you must have prepared everything for that YouTube live. Go ahead. Good morning. Thanks for joining, Mangesh. And of course, Alibag, cool, comfortable morning. 25 degree Charlie with 68% humidity right now.
Mike Sierra Bravo.
VU3 VU3 Oscar Uniform Mike. Good morning to you, UEL. Lovely copy. Good morning to Mike Sierra Bravo. Milin, we heard you on the Belgaum net there. 59 plus. Very good copy. Good morning to again all stations on VHS and Echolink. Today we are at 8:30. VU2 VAB VK Arya ji going to tell about design RF emissions. This is one of the topic in ASOC exam, and I hope everyone will like it. Nothing else at my end. VU3 UEL3 Oscar Uniform Mike.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much, VU3OUM Mangesh, joining to Pune Morning Net from Banir, Pune, and coming very loud and clear. And yes, I know that you must have done all the arrangements for today's Tech Talk. For the time being, 73 is good day to you. I will definitely call at the start of Tech Talk. Now we have VU2 MSB Milin sir joining via VHF. Come in, please, Milin sir. I was copying you on Belgaum net also. Such a nice, loud and clear. 59 plus is the report for you for that HF also. Go ahead. Good morning, sir.
Roger. VU3 United Echo Lima and all the friends on the frequency. Very good morning to you. You're fine and good signal, Dilip, and thanks for the report from both HF and UHF, VHF. Tomorrow 73. Bye bye.
Yes, Roger, thank you very much. VU2 MSB Milin sir joining from Bibewadi, Pune via VHF. You are always coming fine and plus. Today also no difference. 73 is for the time being. Hope to meet you that YouTube live program also. Good day to you, sir. Yankee Tango Victor, come in please. Vedan Narayan sir. I am watching you first time on this frequency. Go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, VU2 Echo Tango Delta. Good morning to everyone in this frequency. Wish you all a happy Sunday, happy days ahead from tomorrow, happy weeks ahead. Here it is raining from the morning, good chill weather. Thank you, Net Controller, VU3YTV from Tuticorin signing. Thank you.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much, Vedanarayan sir, joining from Tuticorin with such a nice, loud and clear audio. And hope you will join us regularly for the time being. 73s and good day to you. And please do stand by for our YouTube live program also. Yes, now we have Zulu. Oh, let me check. I missed the call sign. Okay, now we have Zulu, Juliet, Yankee, Supriya ji joining. Come in please. Good morning. Thanks for joining.
This is Victor Uniform 3 Zulu Juliet Yankee from my QTH in Thane. It's great to join today. 73 and good day.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much. VU3 Zulu Juliet Yankee, Supriya Bide madam. First time I am talking to you. It's great pleasure to talk to you. I hope you will join us regularly. And from Thane, you are coming very loud and clear. Hope to meet you today evening net also. And of course, as you know, we have a special Tech Talk YouTube live program also just after 8:30 a.m. today. So do join them for that program also. 73 is good day to you, madam. Now we have VU2RTW. Shanmugam sir, come in please. Good morning. Thanks for joining from Coimbatore.
Good morning, Dilip. Good morning, all friends on this frequency. You are finding very good copy. And cloudy morning, throughout night it was listening here. Clear to unit 73, wishing all session pleasant and wonderful day. Pranam Majiko, and I will move to YouTube for listening the Tech Talk program. V3 Uniform Echo Lima, V2 Romeo Tango Whiskey. Over.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much, RTW Shanmugam sir, joining from Coimbatore with such a nice, loud and clear audio. And yes, I want you to be with me for special Tech Talk program also, YouTube live. Do join them for the time being. 73 is good day to you. View to India Uniform Alpha. Sridhar sir, after a long time we are meeting once again. Thank you so much from joining from Kalpakkam. Come in please. Good morning sir.
VU3 UEL, VU3 India Uniform Alpha, returning. Good morning Dilip ji, good morning Mangesh, good morning VPR, good morning all station ji. Climate is, weather is still morning, sunny Sunday. Today arrangement for Techno program, very wonderful, nice, best wishes to you, to all organizer. Otherwise, no traffic, 73 by. Again, good morning. VU3 UEL, VU3 India Uniform Alpha, over.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much, VU3 India Uniform Alpha, Siddha sir. What a nice signal. Very loud and clear audio. Thanks for the report. And hope to meet you for that special Tech Talk program also. Till then, 73 is good day to you. Now we have one more station, that Eco X-Ray Papa. Come in please. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Raj Kumar sir from गुजरात. गो अहेड सर. गुड मॉर्निंग. हो नहीं 8:30 प्रोग्राम है.
Good morning, Dilip ji and all the friends on the frequency, on Ecolink and as well as on repeaters. This is EXE, Rajesh from Rajkot, Gujarat. WX is of Rajkot is around 24 degree Charlie right now, and air quality index is 96. So it is a general checking, Dilip ji, and no more traffic. Happy Sunday to all of you, and please conduct your wonderful net. No more traffic. Bye bye. 73 Dilip ji, VPR, and all the friends on the frequency. 73 is back to you.
Roger. Thank you very much. VU2 Eco X-ray Papa Rajesh sir joining from Rajkot, Gujarat with such a nice loud and clear audio. Thanks for the WX report, and please do join for our YouTube live program just after this net, that is 8:30 onwards. So thank you so much. Now we have Hotel Quebec Papa Arupji joining from Tripura, Agartala. Go ahead Arupji, good morning.
VU3EL, this is VU3HQP. Thank you for pulling me in. And good morning to you and all the stations in the frequency. Regular checking, nothing special. 73s and good day to you.
Quebec Papa Arupji joining from Tripura, Agartala with very nice loud and clear audio. Hope to meet you for that special Tech Talk program. Till then, 73 is good day to you. Now we have Mike Fastcrot, Abdul sir joining from Kerala. Come in please. Good morning.
Good morning, Dilip ji. Good morning, Mangesh, Priya, Sridhar, and VPR, HQP, Arup, and Rajesh, and Charlie Alpha, November. All listeners on the list, you are fine and plus. Here is cool weather and sunny, bright, and nothing special, no traffic. Here is 73. UEL, I'm off clear. Bye bye.
Roger. Thank you very much. VU2 Mike Foscrot, Abdul sir joining from Kerala with very nice loud and clear audio. After a long time you are joining to us. It's great to see you once again. Do join us regularly. For the time being, 73 is good day to you, and hope to meet you today evening net as well as for Tech Talk program also YouTube live. Now we have VU2 Charlie Alpha November. Come in please, Ainapure sir joining from Kolhapur. नमस्कार, बरेच दिवसांनी आलात, आनंद वाटला. आणि घ्या तुम्हीच घ्या, सांगा काय म्हणताय कोल्हापूर आणि तुमची नवीन ऍक्टिव्हिटी. गो अहेड सर, गुड मॉर्निंग. VU2CAN, come in please.
गुड मॉर्निंग एव्हरीबडी ऑन फ्रिक्वेन्सी. आज फील्डवरून आलेलो आहे. गेल्या काही दिवसापासून HF चालू केलेला आहे, व्हर्टिकल आणि इन्व्हर्टेड व्ही लावलेला आहे. नो एनी ट्रॅफिक फ्रॉम माय साइड. स्टँडिंग बाय ऑन फ्रिक्वेन्सी 73.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much. Ainapure sir joining from Kolhapur with such a nice loud and clear audio. Hope to meet you regularly. For the time being, 73 is good day to you, and please do join us for our special Tech Talk program. FTS Musammil, come in please. Good morning.
Roger. V3UEL group Pune repeater evening net controller. This is VU3FTS returning. Very person. Good morning, Dilip. Good morning, Vilas, Mangesh, Sharup, Puzzle, and all friends. Frequency. Europe fine and plus good copy. WX wait and sunny 28 degree Charlie. QRU 73. Good day. Good morning. V3 uniform Echo Lima. V3 Foxtrot Tango sir. Over.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much, Musamil sir, joining from Malappuram, Kerala. Very nice, loud and clear audio. Do join us for that special TikTok program. For the time being, 73 and good day to you. Now, without wasting time, I am giving mic to the great ham radio operator, my guru from Pune itself, VU2 Victor Papa Romeo. Rabde sir, please come in, take the mic, introduce our VK Arya sir, and we'll start the special Tech Talk program. And one request to all stations right now on Ecolink, please don't try to transmit when our YouTube live program is on. Go ahead, Rabde sir. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the exciting program, monthly program of Sunday Tech Talk. We conduct our meeting date for the eyeball QSO, and from today onwards we have started our eyeball QSO, which will be in the evening today at 5 o'clock. So we are all meeting over a cup of tea today evening, and we'll be discussing about our forthcoming field day on next Saturday, Sunday. We are planning a lot of technical sessions, interactions, and all ham related activities. Today's speaker is none other than Mr. VK Arya, VU2 Victor Alpha Bravo. He is from New Delhi. He is 50% Punite. He keeps on traveling to Pune because his son and is stay here. And we have spent wonderful time with VK Arya so far, and we really admire his technical knowledge and competence. He is basically telecom engineer, retired from BSNL, and keeps on conducting training programs for various BSNL or telecom related activities, and very keen on training hams across the globe. Now there are a lot of aspirants in Pune who will be very shortly appearing for the ASOC exam. Preparations are on, and today's presentation is in line with their request. There is a topic RF emission in the syllabus. So Mr. VK Arya will be covering that topic, and from today onwards, Mr. VK Arya, that is VU2 Victor Alpha Bravo, will be conducting series of lectures for taking the revision of students for the ASOC exam. I thank Mr. Arya such a short notice. He has prepared the presentation yesterday night, and today morning our great friend Mangesh, VU2 Oscar Uniform Mike, edited it and make ready. So I must thank Mangesh for bringing this program live on YouTube Live. So without spending much time, I will request Mangesh and Mr. VK Arya to start the presentation on RF emissions, a topic in ASOC exam syllabus. Over to Mr. VK Arya.
Good morning and welcome to all the participants in today's Tech Talk on designation of emission organized by VU2RCP, Pune HAMS. Today's talk is on designation of emission. This is one of the topic in one of the paper which is to be taken by the those who wants to become HAMS or radio amateurs. There are three tests to be taken by anyone who wants to take amateur license. The name of the examination is Amateur Station Operator Certificate Examination. And there are two types of licenses which are given for this. One is known as a general grade license, another is known as a restricted grade license. For general grade licenses, there are three tests. One is for radio theory, another is for radio regulations, and third is for wireless modes. For restricted grade examinations, there are two tests. One is radio theory, and another is radio regulations. Wireless modes is not required for restricted grade license, but radio regulation is common for both general grade and restricted grade. Although radio theory is exempted to engineers, but radio regulations still they have to appear in the examination. I'm going to next slide to discuss what is the syllabus for this course. So there are two sections. One is for radio theory, and this we are discussing the section B, which is radio regulations. Some topics are given, and this is the syllabus which we are going to just go through this slide. One of the is that the Indian wireless telegraph rules you should know for this examination. Similarly, there were some rules were formed in 1978, followed by some amendments. Then is very important is to have the knowledge of international radio relations, which is required to be known for operations by amateur station users. So amateur station means the place where you keep your equipment for radio operation. So those who want to have the license, they will have to have the license and they will have the equipment. And for that, you have to have the knowledge of the following things. The designation of emission, there are various types of transmission of signals are there, that is emission of signals. So what are the various types of these emissions are there, and how they are coded or designated. So we'll be studying it. So nomenclature of the frequency and wavelengths, each wireless communication needs some frequency and wavelengths. What is used by hams has to be known to us. Okay. Then the knowledge of a few more things. What is the frequency allocations to amateur services? Then measure against interference when you're talking or sending signals. Our signal should not interfere with others services or other people who are discussing. So we have to take measures against them, reduce the power like that we need to know. Then what measure has to be taken for, and test has to be taken for the interference, and identification of stations which are creating interference. And we also should know what are the distance signals and call and messages to be transmitted and received, and what actions to be taken in case there is you are listing distress signal or urgency signals. Then also you have to know about the various call signs. Each ham is given a call sign which is unique in the world. So India is also given a series by the International Telecom Union, the radio regulations organization. And what are the standard frequency and time signals which are being sent for some purposes. So in India, NPL is sending these signals at certain frequency. We should know what are the frequencies which are on which these signals are being sent. In addition, there are some codes are used by amateurs. Although these codes were used earlier for wireless modes, those who are using wireless modes, and still in practices, and we need to know in the examination these codes comes. So we need to understand what are these QRA, QRG, and QRZ, and all these things codes are there. So some abbreviations like AA, AB, all after, all before, you need to understand and learn these codes for the examination. Why we need a license for ham? The government ensures that the person who is going to be a ham radio hobbyist or an amateur is technically competent. He or she should not interfere with other professionals, prevent misuse of the wireless set, and maintains the standard international operating practices, which will be being discussed now in this radio regulations. Now coming to the designation of mission, there are various types of signals which are being transmitted, and before we go for the actual designations, let me briefly introduce what is how to study this topic. As we know, today's world of science, technology, and engineering, the major role of development is information transmission and information communication from one place to another place by persons, by machines, from one machine to another machine, one person to another person, etc. And what are these informations which are to be transmitted? And this information may include your voice, audio, that is speech, conversations, music, discussions, commentaries, etc. And similarly, some other things which are going to show you. Some radio broadcast programs has to be transmitted, some television broadcast programs, then images of facsimile, that is fax, some data signals to be transmitted like computer signals, and Morse code. You communicate your wireless on Morse code, so you have to send these signals. Now, any transmission may be locally, nationwide, or internationally, that is globally or even in space. So, although the information can be sent by many mediums, but two mediums are basically prominent. One is the cables. Earlier, copper cable was used, coaxial and coaxial cable were used. Now, optical fiber cables are used in most of the places. Other than cables, there is another medium of transmission of signal that is the wireless or radio. As you see in radio transmission, TV transmission, mobile, and in amateur, we also use wireless transmission. We will study only transmission of information using wireless per radio mode. There are two ways of transmitting information through wireless mode. One is through a network of devices, like in your mobile telephone. We send signals or voice or anything through a network of devices, which are basically a interconnection of various BTSs and BSCs and MSCs, etc. But nothing like this is there. So if you see, this is a network of equipments or devices which are used in between. But this is not being used at all in wireless or radio communication. So hams don't need to go through all these things. So what they do is they can directly communicate. As you see, from there is a transmitter, there is a receiver. The signals can be transmitted directly from one place to another place. This is known as point-to-point wireless radio communication. We transmit information from one place to another place directly without using any intermediate cable, network, or devices. These signals, in this diagram particular, it is passing through one of the atmospheric layer, although it is created by the ultraviolet rays of the sun, which is known as ionospheric layer. So we transmit the signal. It goes to the ionosphere and bends to, and then reaches to the other side, and the distance covered may be 2,000 kilometers or even more. So this is a direct point-to-point wireless communication. Now, for any information which is to be transmitted, we need some frequency and some bandwidth. These frequencies and bands are allocated by and decided and allocated by International Telecommunication Union, R groups, a radio group, which are allocating to the nations, and further they allocate to the all the services, including radio amateurs or hams. And the knowledge of this is also required. Now, if you go through whatever we have discussed, if we go through, there are a large number of things which needs to be understood for information transmission, such as type of information like voice, telephony, video, television. This is one thing. These all things are going to be used in designation of emission. Then what is the mode used? That is analog. We may be sending analog signal or digital signal. We may be using some frequency bands, which are in which band we are going to use our transmission, that is known as HF band, VHF band, or UHF band, and others. And what are the bandwidths of the signal frequency which we are going to send? And the units of these are in either hertz, HZ, kilohertz, megahertz, etc. All these things which are pointed, are going to be used in understanding the designation of emission. Without this, it will be very difficult to understand this topic. Now, apart from that, one thing which is very important to learn in wireless transmission is when we speak, when we speak something, our frequency which is coming out is about the range of say 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz. And it was found in 1900 beginning that for transmitting any signal wirelessly, we need a something known as antenna or aerial, whose size depends upon the frequency which is likely to be transmitted. So for a voice signal, if we see that we use a 3000 hertz signal for voice, and these signals go through the wireless with the speed of light, and the speed of light is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. And if we use this frequency, we will be needing a antenna of about 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 3 into 10 power 3, that is almost 100 kilometer. And it was found that if we use half the wavelength, that is comes to be 25 kilometer almost. It is very difficult to build an antenna of this size. On the other hand, if we use a higher frequency signals, then the antenna required is very small, of this a few meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, or 40 meter, like that. So how to translate this low frequency signal to high frequency, which needs a antenna of the manageable size? We use another signal which are known as carrier signal, and we put our signal, voice or any other signal on that, and that is like piggybacking anything, and then we use the smaller size antenna and transmit that. So this technique is known as a modulation of the signal which is higher frequency. So higher frequency is known as a carrier frequency. These carrier frequency have got three characteristics. One is known as its amplitude, another is its frequency, and third is its phase. If we change the amplitude of our high frequency signal called carrier signal with our voice or video signals, then this is known as the amplitude modulated type of signal, and the modulation is known as amplitude modulation AM. Similarly, if we change the frequency of the carrier signal with our voice or video, we call it as a frequency modulation. And third is the phase. If we change the phase of the carrier with our audio signal, this is known as a phase modulation. Similarly, for digital transmission of signals, we modulate the frequency and with the help of our amplitude by either on or off of the amplitude, frequency, or the phase. And this type of signal is known as amplitude shift king, phase shift king, and frequency shift king. We may also use a combination of amplitude and phase, which is known as a Quam quadrature amplitude modulation for information transmission in case of digital. These details to be studied in radio regulations, but here all this modulation has to be used for designation of emission. Although it is, I'll try to see how we can understand this modulation and designations with the later diagrams if possible. Okay, coming to next slide. Now, so to summarize this small part, that is for information transmission, we need a medium like wired and wireless. In the wireless, we use radio, and in the, we may need a mode of analog and digital mode. And for these, we know that we need a different type of modulation techniques. Okay, so we were talking about this frequency. The frequency of light is 3 into 300,000,000, that is 3 into 10⁸ meters per second. And suppose we have to send a signal of 3.7 megahertz. Our wavelength is coming to be 81 meters. The half of its wavelength will be 40 meters or something like that. So we'll be needing an antenna of almost 40 meters, which is manageable as compared to 40 kilometer or 50 kilometer or 15 kilometer like that. So this formula needs to be understood by all. We need an antenna half of the wavelength of the signal which is to be transmitted. So high frequency means low wavelength, and lower size antenna. So for transmitting any signal, we need a transmitter, we need an antenna. We need antenna of a size which is manageable, and this where our modulation comes to our rescue. Okay. Now, we are allocated three bands in which, basically three bands in which we can we can use our transmission, which is known as HF band, which is high frequency band. On the left side, there is a transmitter, and there is antenna. On the right side, there is a receiver and antenna, and the signal is going through the ionospheric layer. And what frequencies are used, which is will be coming in the subsequent topics. What frequency is used in HF and what frequency is used in other bands which are allocated to hams. But it's a method of showing you there is a HF transmitter, there is a antenna for that. We transmit signals, it goes through the ionosphere, and we receive the signal at the other end using some similar antenna. Okay. Coming to the now, this is one type of transmission. Another type of transmission is known as a very high frequency VHF transmission. You see the handies which I have shown here. We normally see through the walkie-talkies which police people use, and hams also use this. I've got these two convert with me, and they use different frequency, a little higher frequency, and their range is less. So this is they use FM frequency modulation techniques, and they use VHF frequency, very high frequencies, which are given. We'll be going to show you this shortly in the band where we are using this. So basically, there are two types of transmission which we use, three types of transmission. One is ionospheric transmission, another is line of sight transmission, and satellite is also a part of this line of sight VHF UHF transmission. Okay. Now coming to the designation of emission topic. We'll be studying three things. What is emission? What is designation of emission meaning? Single sideband, full carrier single sideband, reduced carrier single sideband, suppressed carrier, and various classification of RF emission. What is emission? Basically, emission is nothing but when you see an LED light emitting diode, it emits light. Similarly, radio transmitter emits radio energy through the antenna. That is why there is a word called emission. So now we have seen already there are analog type of radio transmission is there. There is a TV transmission is there. There is an analog mode. There is a digital mode. So there are so many combinations. So we have to codify various combinations, and that is we say that there is a designation of various types of emissions which are being used in the world. These emissions, designation of emissions were finalized somewhere around 1982, which are being used. RF emissions are the result of the radiated electromagnetic energy, which I've just told. And we use these emissions, these RF emissions occur at frequency ranging from 3 kilohertz to 3000 gigahertz. But we use the spectrum basically HF spectrum, which is 3 to 30 kilohertz. This then your VHF from 3 mega, this your 3 megahertz to 300 megahertz. Then similarly, there are other frequencies which are being used, and we modify the carrier signals which are being used in these using our own signals which are being likely to be transmitted. So this we use a band which is known as basically a radio spectrum in our case. Okay. Now these are the various bands which are being used, say which we use for various services. All this categorization is done by ITUR. This HF is from 3 to 30 megahertz. Okay, not 10 to 30 kilohertz. It is 3 to 30 megahertz. So very high frequencies from 30 to 300 megahertz. Ultra high frequencies from 300 megahertz to 3000 megahertz or 0.3 to 3 gigahertz. So various services as I've given on the right side. AM broadcast using MF, Shortwave radio use 3 to 30 megahertz. FM and TV uses your VHF, and like that other services using other bands. So we normally operate on HF, that is 3 to 30 megahertz, and on VHF 3 to 300 megahertz. We also use UHF also around 480 megahertz. So when you go through, you will be able to understand the various bands which are used by various services. Now, the modulation I have already discussed. We will bypassing this, but it is needed for our understanding designation of emission. We have already done that. If we vary the some characteristic of the carrier wave, if we change the amplitude of that carrier, we call it as the amplitude modulation. Similarly, there is a frequency modulation and phase modulation, which are using for analog transmission. And for digital transmission, there is another. So if you are able to see these signals on the left side, I think it is a little faint. This is the upper one is your input modulating wave, and this is the carrier wave. If we change its amplitude, even the lower side, if you see, if the amplitude earlier it was constant in the middle one, modulated result is somewhere the amplitude is changing high, somewhere it is low. So we are changing the amplitude of this carrier with this our modulating wave or input signal, which may be our voice or anything. So this type of modulation is known as your amplitude modulation. And then if our signal changing the frequency, you see this is a constant frequency, and here it is high frequency, here it is low frequency. So if we change the characteristic of this carrier wave, that is frequency, if our amplitude amplitude changes the frequency of this signal, carrier signal, this is known as frequency modulation. And similarly, if we change the phase of our carrier frequency with the help of this modulating wave, this is known as a phase modulation. In digital modulation, what happens? This is a digital signal is a 10101 type. If you see here, when there is a 1, there is a one type of output, and there is this is when it is 0, it is another type of output for the carrier. So if we this type of transmission is known as a your digital transmission, which I think when you study theory in detail, you'll be able to understand. But this is required to understand the designation of emission. Now there is in modulation, what happens when you mix your frequency, that is lower frequency, or your modulating, what is known as modulating signal, with the carrier frequency, high frequency. There are 3 types of outputs are coming. One is known as a carrier itself, and apart from that, there are 2 more outputs. One is the carrier plus our frequency, and the third one is the carrier minus our frequency. So the in between the dotted shown here, the dash line is showing the original carrier, and on this right side, it is known as a carrier plus our signal, which is known as upper sideband, and on the left side, this is known as a carrier minus our signal. All these details you will study in your radio theory, but I've just included these slides so that you can understand the designation. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So if we can transmit both the sidebands plus carrier in the amplitude modulation, this is known as amplitude modulation, that is double sideband full carrier. That means if we send both the these sidebands, which contains actual information what you want to send, and the carrier, this is known as a double sideband full carrier. This is the carrier, this is the lower sideband, this is our sideband. If we send only carrier plus one sideband, okay, this is the single sideband full carrier. It may be upper sideband full carrier, it may be lower sideband full carrier, like that. We may also send only these sidebands. There is no carrier, so these may be known as independent sideband. And we can send reduced carrier, single sideband, reduced carrier, like that. There are so many combinations are there, and each combination is given a code, which is known as, that is the designation of that emission. So if you see baseband means what signal we are trying to have taken from the net. This is the baseband signal, our voice signal which we want to send, and this is the full modulation, that is the carrier plus lower sideband, upper sideband. This is single upper sideband, this is the single sideband, lower sideband only. Okay. Now coming to the real designation of mission, there is a formula for this, or we say that format is there, that is known as BBBB, 4 times B, space 1, 2, 3, space 4, 5. So this is the designation format for the designation of mission. So we'll understand the meaning of quickly for not in detail, but quick for the quick understanding. The BBBB stands for the bandwidth of the signal which is being transmitted. This is known as designation of necessary bandwidth which is being transmitted. And the 1, 2, 3 stands for the modulating signal type, carrier type, and the what it carries actually. So there is a meaning of BBBB. There is a meaning of digit 1, digit 2, and digit 3. 4, 5 it is an optional. If you want to send the details, you can use this. Otherwise, minimum this 4 plus 3, 7 letters has to be used for transmission of any signals for understanding. That is the for designation of emissions. These 7 letters are important. Okay, let us go for understanding the first one, BBBB, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay. So each services required some bandwidth. So for example, if you use Morse, we may be needing 500 hertz. Single sideband may need 2.4 kilohertz. Amateur FM may use 10 kilohertz. These frequencies are allocated for these services. So how to represent in how to designate these frequencies? And what we have seen the BBBB, in that we see that these frequencies, how these are represented by the 4-digit letters, 4-digit code. If you see the ITUR has given these. If we have some frequencies 0012 to 999 hertz, though, then for point we'll be using the letter H. For the point we'll be using the letter H. For example, we have a 0.1 hertz. So point in for this is a 4-digit BBBB. So we write point in for at the place of point we write H, and this is 100. That means H. We will read it 0.1, and since it is a 4-digit format, so we need H100. And if you see 25.3 hertz, it will be more clear. So we have to make it as a 4 letters designation. So 25 H3 for is in place of dot. We place H. H stands for hertz. So how will I read it? 25 H means point 25.3 hertz. For 400 hertz, we'll be using 400 H. That means it is 400.0 hertz basically, but it is 400. H is there is no point, so we use here H. 2.4 kilohertz means 2 in place of point. Instead of kilohertz, we use K. As you see on the top letter, I just told about hertz. Now, if we use frequency between 1 kilohertz to 99 kilohertz, in kilo we normally use K for small. H is always used hertz because it is in the name of hertz scientist. So whenever the unit is in the name of a scientist, the first letter is always used as a capital letter. We never use small h. So if any frequency we use the letter K. For example, 2.4 kilohertz. So I will write 2 in place of point. We use 2K4, and since it is a 4-digit letter, we will have to add the additional 0. So it is 2.4 kilohertz. Similarly, if it is 6 kilohertz, it is 6K00. 12.5 kilohertz, it is 12K5. Now the next unit of the frequency is in megahertz. If any signal is between 100 and 999 megahertz, we'll use a letter M. For example, 1.25 megahertz. So instead of point, we'll be writing 1 in place of point we'll be using M, and 2.5 as it is, because it becomes a 4 this combination. So 2 megahertz means 2.000, so it is 2M00. 10 megahertz means 10.00 we can write, but here we write 10 M0 means 10.00. 202 megahertz means 202 meg. Similarly, gigahertz, we use the letter G like that. So this is the designation of necessary bandwidth and the designation of emission. There are two parts. One is the bandwidth, designation of bandwidth, and other is the classification of various other services which are being used. I'll be using that quickly because it's getting delayed. Now we have this format BBB. We have seen how the frequency is represented in the 4-letter format. Now coming the next 3 digit 1, 2, 3. The first symbol is the type of modulation of the main carrier. As I have told you, the carrier may, if we change the, if we modify the amplitude of the carrier with our signal, our amplitude of our signal, if the amplitude of the carrier is changed by our signal, which is known as a amplitude modulated signal. So this represented by A. If we change the frequency, the first in place of 1, it will be F. If we change the phase, in place of that, it will be Z. So there are 3 basically type of modulation scheme which are being used. The second symbol is the nature of the signals modulating the main carrier. Will be coming to that. There is a letter 0, 1, 2, 3. The third symbol, type of information being transmitted, like your facsimile, then your telephony, voice, or fax or signal. So to understand this, as we have discussed in the first few slides, without that it will be very difficult to understand the designation of mission. The fourth and fifth symbol are not necessary, but if you want to show the details, you can use this. So now if you see the first symbol, if it is a amplitude modulation and we transmit the both the sidebands, the first letter will be always as A. If we send single sideband with full carrier, it will be written as H. If we send a single sideband with reduced carrier, it will be written as R. If we use single sideband with suppressed carrier, the first letter will be J. If we send 2 independent sidebands carrying different information, it will be written as B. If we send a vestigial sideband, that is in TV and TSC TV transmission, we use the vestigial sideband. The upper sideband is sent full, but the lower sideband is sent in part. So that is known as a, this is the vestigial sideband. So these are the symbols for designation for first letter. Similarly, for frequency modulation, we use F. Phase modulation, we use the first letter as G. And case is not covered above is represented by W, which is emission consists of the main carrier modulated either simultaneously or in a pre-established sequence in a combination of 2 or more of the following modes. Amplitude single. So we use some, but we don't normally don't use this for our ham radio. So I'm skipping this. Okay. Second symbol, when we send only carrier, so the second letter will be 0. When we send information for single channel, then it will be using the second letter as 1. When we use a distal, that means 0 or 1 type of signal in the second, we'll use the letter 2. When we use a single channel containing analog information, like voice telephony, we use the letter 3. When we use 2 or more channels containing quantized or distal information, we use the second letter as 7. Similarly, we 2 or more channels containing analog information like 8. As we have seen in the independent sideband, we send different information. That is 2 or more channels containing analog information. We use the second letter as 8. Okay, so we normally use these 2, 3 combinations. 0, 1, 2, 3, 7 or 8. Okay, so this I'm not going to cover the other things because for the new people it will be enough to tell all these things. Now the third letter, the type of information to be sent, no information transmitted, N. The third letter will be N. Telegraphy for oral reception, letter will be A. For automatic reception, telegraphy for automatic reception, the third letter will be B. Fax or facsimile, if it is transmitted, the third letter will be C. Data transmission, telemetry, telecommand, the third letter will be D. Telephony, including this sound broadcasting, we use for, this is letter E. Television signal, if we send videos or television, we use the third letter as F. And combination of the above, we use W or X, which are again we are not going to use. So these combinations now coming, I'll quickly go through this. A means amplitude modulation, double sideband. Okay. So Morse telegraphy without the use of modulating audio frequency, if we for oral reception we use the A1A. Similarly, there are A1B, A2A, A2B is being used. So A3C is amplitude modulated facsimile. A3 is telephony with a double sideband. A3F is amplitude modulated video. H3 is telephony, single sideband full carrier, H3E. J3 telephony, single sideband suppressed carrier, which we used, our hams use this. R3 is the telephony, single sideband reduced carrier, we use this. So there are so many combinations, there are so more combinations are there which we need to study in details. And we have gone through the basics. To understand the designation of emission, we need to understand the mode of transmission, that is analog or distal, and we use which type of information is being transmitted, whether it is voice or whether it is television or whether it is radio. So we need to understand that. We also need to use analog modulation or frequency modulation or these other modulation, phase modulation or distal modulation. We need to understand all these things. So to coming to the end of this session, I'll just repeat. Today's topic was designation of emission, which the format is BBBB 1 2 3 4 5. BBBB BB, that is 4 letters, is basically used for the designation of this bandwidth of the frequency, how it is being used. And then the other 3 letters, that is 1 2 3, is used for classification of emissions, which we have seen the letters A, B, C, etc. And similarly, the second letter is used 0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, etc. And the third letter is also A, B, C, etc. is being used. The combination of these things are the designation of emission. In your examination, some of the combinations will be given to you, and you have to tell what is this combination. So F3C, facsimile transmission using FM. F3 is telephony by frequency modulation, like that which we use in VHF. So all these things you need to understand, and then you can easily reproduce what is there. To understand and remember these things, I suggest to go through this presentation and also read some books. And I hope in the subsequent letters, more details will be covered. I hope this will help you a little in preparing your examination. So I say goodbye to all friends and hope to join you soon. Okay, this is closing now.
Okay, VU2 VAB, VU3 Oscar uniform Mike. Okay, thank you very much Aryaji for the wonderful presentation. We'll take a quick break and then UEL can continue. Thank you very much. We'll take a break for 1 minute there.
It was wonderful session, Aryaji. It's really learning, and definitely our students who are aspiring for ASOC exam will be greatly benefited. Thanks a lot for such a wonderful presentation.
Okay. Now, no stations right now available on the Ecolink, so no questions will be asked on this Ecolink platform. But we have VU to NDF Nandu Kaka with us right now, so let us listen from him how he think about today's Tech Talk. Of course, what a nice presentation, Nandu Kaka. Go ahead. Good morning once again.
VU3 Uniform Echo Lima, this is VU2 NDF. Good morning to you and all others on the frequency, and thanks to Arya Saab for the wonderful presentation that he gave for aspiring hams. Thank you very much. I will be standing by. Mike, back to you, VU3 Uniform Echo Lima.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much, VU to NDF Nandu Kaka, joining to Pune Morning Net and remaining on the frequency so long. Hope to meet you today evening net. Till then, 73 and good day to you. VU to Juliet Alpha, Raja Kaka, please come in. Good morning. You must have heard today's Tech Talk. Go ahead.
VU2UEL, the net control operating from Alibag for the Echo Tango Delta repeater of Pune. This is Victor Uniform Figure to Juliet Alpha, right back. Good morning to Dilipji, good morning to Vilas, our Mangesh, as well to the great guy of VU2VAB, Arya, who had given a fantastic presentation regarding the ASO, the people to get benefited by getting a brush up all the requests. And apart from this, not for only for the ASO people. The people like us all time are also get brushed up with all our knowledge on ham radio. Nice indeed, yeah, it's a fantastic Dilipji. A fantastic show. Tech Talk was very good. I should really appreciate the guys like VU2, VRP, VPR, as well Mangesh, then Kulkarni Saab, as well our Nandi of Nandu Kaka. Then you are taking the effort of putting all the people into the knowledge of ham radio. Otherwise, nothing to say with Dilipji standing on frequency. VU3 UEL, the net control operating Echo Tango Delta repeater. This is Victor Uniform Figure to Juliet Alpha.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much. VU to Juliet Alpha, Raja Kaka, joining from Chennai with very nice loud and clear audio. And thanks for joining and remaining on the frequency, taking part in that Tech Talk. Yes, what you said is absolutely correct. A great presentation given by Arya sir, and he is really a very knowledgeable person. It will be very helpful for that SW especially wanted to go for the exam. However, 73 is good day to you, Raja Kaka. Now we have VU to MF, Abdul sir from Kerala. Come in please. What you have to say about today's Tech Talk? Go ahead, Abdul sir.
Good morning, Dilip ji. Good morning, very good morning. And today's session is much helpful for all people, not only hams, SWLs also. It is generally to observing. I have to give lot of SWLs. They have to enjoy it with. Really appreciate VU2 Victor Alpha Bravo Arya ji. It's a very good presentation. And besides help VPR and yourself and all the Mangesh, all the people, I once again appreciate to them, and it is very much help to the society, ham society as well as SWL. It is really good, appreciable, and for a long back I have to joining and patiently to hear all the things. It is reminding also our fellow hams. So nothing special. Thank you so much once again for all people effort and anything, and especially for VU2 Victor Alpha Bravo also. Nothing special, no trophy. QRU 73. VU3 UEL UTM up clear. Bye bye.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much. VU to MF Abdul sir joining from Kerala and remaining on the frequency so long, keenly watching that YouTube. Yes, thank you so much for your encouraging words. It will definitely help us to go for new and new YouTube live programs. HI. Thank you so much once again. Hope to meet you evening net also till then 73 and good day to you. Now we have VU3 X-ray Mike Sierra. Sukumar sir, come in please. He is there watching the YouTube from Kalpakkam. Go ahead Sukumar sir.
VU3 Uniform Echo Lima, this is VU3 X-ray Mike Sierra Sukumar from Kalpakkam. Good morning all in this frequency. Special thanks to Arya sir who gave very informative information about the in Tech Talk program. I came in between only, means not fully listened. If I get the recorded programs, I will be happy. I am also eager to know more about such Tech Talks. That's all. Have a nice day. Good Sunday to all. QRE 73. Over to UEL. This is VU3 X-ray Mike Sierra. Thank you. Over. Bye bye. Clear.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much. VU3 X-ray Mike Sierra Sukumar sir joining from Kalpakkam. Thank you so much for your words. And yes, I will share the link within some hour or two. Our technical specialist Mangesh is there to edit and upload the YouTube live program today, and you will get the link straight away on our equaling group also. For the timing 73 and a good day to you. Yes, Mangesh, thank you so much for putting such a nice effort. Because of your efforts only it is possible to us to go on that YouTube live. Very smooth running program, HI. And of course, VAB, Arya sir, what a nice person he is. Such a wonderful presentation he did today, and it's very helpful to all. VU2OUM, go ahead for your final. Let us see any questions there on the frequency. Otherwise, you please go ahead for your final, then we'll close the net.
UEL VU3 Oscar Uniform Mike. Okay, good morning to all stations again. Thank you VU2 VAB VK Arya G for the wonderful presentation, and I'm sure it will help all SWLs who wants to get a license there. We'll try to get a few more lectures from VAB, so it will be series lectures so that all the SWLs who are looking for examination will help them, and we will also try to conduct an exam if we get about 20 persons who are willing to give exams. And you can, if you are an SWL and looking for examination, or if you are VU3, you want to upgrade your license to VU2, please contact VU2 VPR or myself, VU3 Oscar Uniform Mike. So we will try to help you. Otherwise, nothing else. Thank you again, Aryaji and UEL. Mike, back to you, VU3 UEL 3 Oscar Uniform Mike.
Yes, Roger. Thank you very much, VU3OUM Mangesh. Once again, I am thanking you for such a great work you are doing. And yes, special thanks to VK Arya sir. And of course, the great ham radio operator VU2 VPR Abde sir. Because of his efforts, it's possible us to give great hams for YouTube live HI. So I am putting Mike for his final. VU2 VPR sir, go ahead for your final. And as Mangesh said, we want more programs from VAB, VU2 VAB, that is VK Arya sir. So let us know about that also. VU2 VPR, please come in for your super final. Rabde sir, if possible, please come in for your final. Okay, now I think he must have QSY'd to that UHF repeater. However, thank you so much VPR sir once again. And friends, now this is VU3 Uniform Echo Lima. Once again thanking all the stations and my special thanks to OUM Mangesh sir and NDF Nandukaka also, because he's given us that music. YouTube live program music is created by VU2 NDF Nandukaka. This is the information for all. Now friends, this is the time we must close the net. This is VU3 UEL now declaring this Pune morning net is over. This Tech Talk program is also over. And once again I am thanking all the stations, and this frequency is free for general traffic now. This is VU3 Uniform Echo Lima now finally going QRT. Bye bye, good day all around.